So I want to look at a question today. Why is it that communication is so challenging for people, especially authentic communication? Why is that so difficult when, of course, we've evolved over millions of years to be able to communicate? That's how we've learned, adapted, and survived as humans. And I was just thinking about this and my journey on YouTube and having made all these hundreds of videos now over the last 2 years. I don't know that I'm getting better at it. I find it very challenging to actually deeply communicate the ideas or feelings that I'm really trying to convey. I find myself talking, but when I do, the words that come out aren't really exactly what it is that I want to share. And it's hard to transmit the emotion. It's hard to transmit the subtle feelings. And we all have such a deep and rich inner experience, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like when you're alone, when you're just kind of relaxing, maybe falling asleep in bed. This is what I was doing, and that kind of came to me. Especially when it's dark and when it's quiet, and all of a sudden you have all these different ideas and feelings that when you're going about your day to day, everything's so busy and fast paced, I find that it doesn't really give us a lot of time to feel more deeply. But, anyways, see, this is it. I'm rambling, right? I'm just rambling. I'm trying to connect the dots here and finding myself feeling so inadequate in terms of how I'm just not able to. And it's not just me. I hear and listen to and watch all these other speakers and communicators not doing it effectively either. It's very rare that you hear someone who really resonates with you. And it doesn't matter what the genre is or what you know what I'm saying. Like it could be a person reading the news. It could be a political figure. It could be a religious figure. It could be a scientific figure. It doesn't matter who they are. Some people just have this ability to really speak truth in a way that's not contrived. It's not, most people, when they say I'm speaking truth, it's very much that they're just copying what they heard other people say, and it just doesn't hit home. We're all trying so hard to be ourselves, to be authentic, and usually I find myself just falling so far short of what is inside that I'm trying to communicate to the outside world. Why is it so hard? I've made hundreds of these videos and I don't even feel like I have come close. And it's interesting too because um, I think about movies, for example, or TV, but movies. And that director, that writer, they're really trying to convey this beautiful, emotional story. Sometimes, once in a while, you see a movie and it's like, wow, that really is true and that really hits home. But oftentimes, like they go through all that effort, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of budgets, and it still doesn't really land. And the act because the actors have to get it right, the director, the writer, everything has to be right. And somehow in that moment, um, to be able to deliver that performance, maybe in theater, which I have not really gone to theater, maybe once or twice I've been, but maybe it's different. Maybe in theater, it's like one night or some nights in the production they really nail it and it resonates with the audience in a live way. I don't know. um, but it's like think about it, people giving TED Talks, right? And they practice, they get up there to deliver, they're nervous. We get nervous. It should be so simple. It should be so simple to stand up and just express the truth, whatever your truth might be. It should be so easy, right? I feel like I should figure this out real quick. Like this has been almost not 2 years, but March, April, May, June, July, more than a year and a half of this. And I still don't feel like I've come close. Okay. 5 minutes into this talk right now, and all I wanted to do in this talk was actually just look at the question. Why is it so challenging for us to communicate clearly and authentically? To communicate authentically, what that means is what you feel on the inside is what is transmitted to the outside. Words, I think, fall very short, which is why we have music, art, movies, and so on, writing, to try to give a better representation of what it is that we're actually feeling in this inner world. So I'm trying to do this through the medium of speech, and I feel like I need to let go of the idea of what I'm talking about and let go of trying to explain anything and more just get into a flow where I finally find my rhythm and then the words start coming out in a way that makes a lot more sense and it's more in the flow. You can tell when someone's in the flow. In fact, one of the videos that I just made recently, I felt more connected than the ones I did before. It was, I can't remember what it was. I think it was the last video that I posted. It was about, I honestly forget what it was about, but I remember when I was speaking, I felt more enlivened or more energized in a way. It just felt a little more natural. And interestingly, that video was really well received in that it only had maybe 300 views, but like 11 of you subscribed. So 11 people subscribing to a video from just 300 views is very high. Like usually it might be 3 for like 1 out of 100 or something like that. I remember noticing 11 subscribers. That's a lot for one video. I mean, it could just be random noise, but I don't think so. I think that for whatever reason, that particular, like I felt more connected to it. Therefore, the person listening also felt more connected enough that they said, oh, this maybe is cool. This is, so it's like not really about what you're saying, but it's more, are you authentic? Are you really coming through? And I feel like I've struggled to do that. So, it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting. Maybe I can figure it out somehow. It's just so rare that I hear someone talking and I feel like, wow, they're really, there's always a disconnect. You know what I mean? It's like, not always, but usually there's a disconnect. Interesting. And I don't mean like, so there's produced content, like a news broadcast or something. It's pretty produced. They put on a particular performance. But even when people are being, quote, authentic, like normal, just talking normally, like normal conversation, and that's me, that's genuine me, I'm just being myself. Often, I think there's still layers of masks that's not authentic. This word authentic, whatever, I think it does actually mean something. I think it really does mean something. I think what it means is it's it's like the distillation of what you are now. It's like the most pure form of without anything extra. That's what I think authentic means. There's nothing added on to it, and there's nothing that's like you're trying to not change, but there's just nothing extra added on. So it's very open, very simple, very plain, and it shouldn't be complicated or confusing because it's just simple and clear. And each person probably has their own very specific, authentic voice. And I guess I'm trying to find mine. And I'm asking, why is that so hard to do? This is making a little bit of sense to me, I think. Feeling pretty good about this. I think I'm on to something. I was literally about to fall asleep. I was in bed and I thought, why can't I communicate clearly? I'm going to go talk about it on YouTube. Wow, that's silly. I could have been asleep by now, but I just wanted to figure it out. I don't know, guys. I don't know. it's so, if you've never done, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are on YouTube as well. I mean, you're probably making your own videos too. It's hard, right? Like, especially when you're just having to talk off the cuff like this. There's no script, so there's no planning. You can't, there's no safety net. You just have to kind of figure it out at the moment, which is fun. It's actually kind of, it can be exhilarating. But then when you're rambling and blabbing and blabbing and you're not making sense, you start to become self-conscious or self-aware of that and realize, wait a minute, I'm recording this video and someone's going to be potentially watching it and listening, and they're going to lose focus because I'm not focused. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. And people's time is so valuable. You don't want to waste somebody's time. So, and then there's the whole, well, we can edit the video later, but I don't want to. I want to communicate as if this were live, in person, no edits, you know? It's a lot. That's a lot to ask of oneself. I will say that. But anyways, this is one of those rambling videos, and I get caught up because I know every time I do this, I do a long video where I'm not making losses. I know that that the algorithm hates that. You must appease the algorithm. The algorithm hates when you do this. The algorithm wants it to be supposedly like concise and everything is very clear and packaged in a certain way so that, I don't know. I forget it. I've gone back and forth in this channel over the years and months. Sometimes I'll just literally ramble for 20, 30 minutes about nothing. And then sometimes I'll do something that's a little more clear. Usually that gets shown to more people and I get more feedback, and I like the feedback. So I don't want to be just wasting people's time rambling about nothing, which is now 12 minutes of this. I got to go to bed.